Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those new here, hi, my name's Alani. This video is a little bit different from all my other ones because it's not necessarily a DIY, but I really wanted to show you guys what I did. I kind of wanted to jump on this ghost thrifted painting trend that's going on, and here's my version. The first thing I did was sketch out everything I wanted to do to this painting. I did it on a separate piece of paper just to see how I liked it and what looked good. And then I took the painting out of the frame and the glass itself. And after sketching on top of the painting, I started painting over what I sketched. I really lucked out with this painting. I love how it had two little girls on there because I knew I wanted to make them into witches, and I just love that it's supposed to be really like springy and happy, and then I kind of changed it to make it kind of like a dark, starry, creepy night, like they're two little evil witches doing a little seance dance instead of just two little girls playing and hanging out. So I just gave them the basic witch hat and witch dresses just to cover up their dresses that they already had on, and the hats because obviously the witches wear those black hats. I blacked out all the windows because I wanted it to look like it was really dark on the inside of the house, especially if it's going to be nighttime, and I want those ghosts to really pop. For the trees, I layer them so many times that you'll see how they just keep changing and changing over time. First, I lay down like a dark red burgundy, and then I do like a red orange, then an orange, then a yellow, and I just do dabbing motions, and then every now and then I'll grab a dry brush and just kind of swirl it around on top. I really felt like Bob Ross, and I was like super excited to do that. And then I made the ghosts in the windows, and I wanted the upstairs to have two ghosts, like a mom and a baby, and then the downstairs to have like the dad ghost where he's kind of looking outside all mad at the witches because they obviously are the ones that killed him. And of course, because it's Halloween, I had to put some pumpkins in the front, and then I darkened up the house with like a darker gray, and then later I dirtied it up with like a dry brush with some brown on it. I really wanted to paint the dog and make it look like wolf-looking demon-like, so at first I gave it yellow eyes and a brown and black fur, but then I changed the eyes to red later. I think it was a Jack Russell Terrier at first, but I really like how it looks really like mangy and mad. And then behind the girls, I really wanted to look like they're deep in the forest, so I did make it look like there was glowing eyes in the back, and I wanted all the flowers to be more of a Halloween color, so I changed them from pink to purple, and then I added a little hand coming out of the water like it's their next victim drowning. I wanted the house to look really weathered and dirty, so I decided to cover up the top where all the wood would be a like brown reddish color, and then for the backdrop I really wanted it to be darker and more spooky like, so I did that acrylic water mixture to kind of make it look more like night sky. I didn't like the way it turned out, so then I covered it all up with black and gave it stars, and I really like that finish instead. So just ignore this part, I'm going to cover it up. The hand was a little bit too bright for the lake, so I just added some more blue around that, and then I did a few touch-ups, and I also added a darker wood to the top of where the front porch is. The hair for the girls was looking a bit too dull compared to their witch outfits, so I decided to give them each yellow, blonde, gold curly hair. And I had to repaint the tree trunk because compared to the leaves itself, it was a little bit dull, and then after that I just did touch-ups here and there, and then it was time to work on the grass. For the grass, I mixed together 3 different types of greens. I laid it down and kind of mixed them together, and then I used a flicking motion to kind of flick the grass upwards in certain areas to make it look a little overgrown, like it's due for a cut, but I mean, they're witches, they don't have time to cut the grass, so it's just gonna look really crazy, and they love running around barefoot in it. So throughout the video, you'll see me go back and forth, changing a few things here and there, and that's only because after I let the paint dry and I come back to it later, I noticed that some parts are a little too dull, some parts are a little bit too bright, and I really want a really cohesive looking painting, so that's why you'll just see me doing touch-ups here and there. After that, I was ready to work on the background, and I did paint everything I painted earlier, the like acrylic water colors, black, and then I realized I wanted a moon and I wanted more stars, and I really wanted it to be a darker night, so eventually I cover up most of the trees to make it all black, flick my stars on there, and then it's time to add the moon. So I'm really bad at painting circles, and I didn't want to have to keep refixing the circle, making it bigger and bigger. So to make the moon, I just painted the bottom of one of my paint bottles and dabbed that on there, and then I got to paint the inside of it. I did mix some gray in there just so it looked like the moon, how the moon had like gray parts on it. And then later I added an aura around it of like some light, just so it could look a little bit creepier and like it's really glowing that Halloween night. For the last few steps of this painting, I used painter's tape to frame out the picture itself, and I wanted to put one gray frame around the actual painting, and then for that bigger frame, I wanted to paint that black. And of course, I had to make it look like there was some smoke coming out of the top of the house to make it look like the witches were burning something on the inside. To make the glow around the moon, all I did was wipe off some white paint from a paintbrush and kind of made a circle around the moon to make a glow. And then after all the paint had dried, I just sealed everything in with a matte finish sealant, and then it was good to go back in the frame. And here's my painting all done. I absolutely love it. It's already hung up in my house. I think it's so beautiful, and I just love all those spooky elements, the ghosts, the hand, the moon, the smoke, and that creepy eyeballs in the background, my creepy dog, and my little witches. I love the colors. I love everything about it, and I'm just so happy. I had so much fun making this. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Happy Halloween, everyone.